Got to get this distance right. Okay, here we are. We're back from our walk. That felt great, right? We got our however much we could do, up to 30 minutes. Just a nice, comfortable walk. We're getting warmed up. So we're all warmed up, right? We're in good shape. Want to give you a warning, a heads up here. Starting soon, we're going to need to be using some additional equipment. So for, I don't have them here as examples, but you know, stretch bands. We're going to want to get some stretch bands. Something to use for weights as well. Now, these are kind of light ones. These are 5 pounds. I'm going to start with these because I haven't been exercising with these very much, and then I'm going to build up over time a little bit. But, you know, you can use soup cans. You can use rocks. You can use anything that has a little bit of weight. You don't have to have weights. We're not going to be using them today, though. Today, we're going to be going through the movements so we can learn about the movements. And we're going to do that a few times, and then we're going to be adding weights as we go. Once again, this is consistent with what I've been saying all along. We want to take it slow. We want to take it easy. We don't want to hurt ourselves. We want to keep going with it. This is Jim with Regenerate, Don't Degenerate. We're still waiting for our internet. It's on its way. We're going to have better internet. For right now, I'm putting up with this pausing thing that it does every now and then. I don't like it any more than you do. It's unfortunate. But we're going to get there. We're going to make this happen. It's going to be great stuff when it happens. So we're going to start. We're going to go bottom to top. That's something I like to do. So if we had weights, we'd be holding on to them, so we have some additional weight. But we're going to come up on our toes, go down, and lift our toes up. Come up on our toes, go down, lift up our toes. Up on our toes, go down. A few more of these. With weight, this would be a little bit more of a challenge to go up. It's working on our legs from the bottom up, which is a good thing, right? That's what we want to be doing. And it helps us get where we want to be and get those muscles built up. We're working on muscles and bones today. That's what this is about. This is, I'm going to have a series of things. We're not going to do the same thing every day, but we're going to go through several. Now, the next one that we're going to do is we're going to put our feet. No, that's not the next one we're going to do. We're starting bottom, working out. Don't let me get out of sequence here. So this is one we're familiar with. We've seen done other times. With weights, it's a little bit more of a challenge. We're going to go out, and if you can dip down, dip down. Okay, you've got these weights. Then you push up and come back. Out with the other foot, dip down, push up, come back. Going to do enough of these to where we can make a difference. This is important that we get these muscles working. As you notice, there's no weights in my hands right now, but we're learning the motions. Now, posture is right. We're standing up straight. Correct? We're not wobbling side to side. We're not trying to compensate in any way. We're keeping our core engaged. Couple more of these, okay? Couple more, and we will get ourselves where we need to be. Okay, let's bring it to a stop. Now, you know, we went for a walk. I hope as you were walking, you took some water with you. This looks like wood, doesn't it? It's metal inside, so I'm not drinking out of wood. Keep some water happening. Hydration, hydration, hydration. Can't talk about it too much. It's very important that we do that. The next thing we're going to do are some squats. And we're going to add a little dimension to this. We're going to involve, when we have weights, they're going to be weights as we squat that we're picking up and down, but we're going to be working our arms as well. So when I say we're going bottom to top, yes, we are. But we're getting some, we're taking advantage of the time by doing two things at once. So we've got our weights. We're going to take them down. If you can touch them to the ground, touch them to the ground. Then bring them up to your chest. Okay, take them down, touch them to the ground. Bring them up to your chest. And you're going down. Try to make it your knees and your hip hinging is taking you down. I mean, not your hip hinging, but your knees. Don't try to do it by bending forward, okay? Okay, you can bend forward and get down further. You can do that. But I'm saying do it with your knees. If you can't get all the way down, guess what? That's fine. Go as far as you can. Go as far as you can. Now, what I want you to think about as we're doing this, if I had a little bit more weight, this is going to give me more of a workout. Remember, our little rumpus is sticking out as we go down. We're not trying to tuck it under, keeping our posture the way it needs to be. Core is engaged, and we are breathing. Now, I have to breathe because I'm talking so much, but do not hold your breath. One more, one more, one more. How did that feel? Is that feeling great? We're getting you going, okay? We're making it happen. You know, we may have a little bit of a short workout today because this is new for you. We're really just going over the movements that you need to be doing. And then as we add weights, we'll be able to, we'll do more. We're going to build up how many we're doing. But today we've transitioned from doing really easy things to a little bit more strenuous movements. So I'm taking it easy. I'm not trying to push you too far. And now, once again, on all of these, if you need a chair to keep you in balance, something there to keep you in balance, do that. And then you're doing just a one-arm movement. And that's fine. If you have to stand behind it for some of them, whatever you have to do. Now, for those of you who are sitting down, the adjustments are a little bit harder, obviously. But for this, the one that we've just been doing, you know, I would do this kind of movement. You can get that in there. For the one where we're going in and out, give yourself that kind of a movement. The lunges. Sorry. Talking and brain, I don't know. I just can't seem to get it together. So that kind of movement, keep you going that way. Letting those of us who stand up rest a little bit while I show some sit-down things. So, you know, you need a little bit of a pause in between every movement we do so you're not getting too much cardiovascular push on what you're doing. That's important. So once again, for those who are sitting down, I am going to be making videos that are specifically for you. It's really hard to adapt. It's hard to be doing both at the same time. I'm going to do it as much as I can, but there's a limit to what can be done in that regard and still have it be effective for everybody. So, you know, we're doing what we can with that. Okay, so as you notice, we've done a lot with our legs, and we've worked on them a bit. Now what we want to do is start doing a little bit more with more of our upper body. And we actually did some with that bend and come up, okay? So we had some that was working on that. So now we're going to work on our arms and shoulders a bit, a little bit on our back. Put one foot forward, put your hand on that leg, hand from the other side. We're going to reach down, we're going to do some rows, okay? We're doing some one-armed rows with this. You can see if you had a weight, you'd be working on that, right? That'd be working you out. Now, you know, I'm kind of leading you astray, saying we're going top to bottom. We're actually starting by standing up, and we're going to do some on the ground. If you need a mat, hopefully you have a mat. Or if you have carpet like I do, then you're fine. Okay, one more. Let's switch sides, hand on knee, foot out. Let's pull that guy up, okay? Got that going, that one-armed row action and that great stuff. It's helping us a lot. Our mat work that we do is going to work a lot on your core. Important part of your body having that core right. Let's do one more on this side. We'll be about right with that. Okay, let's come back up to the top. Now we're going to do some two-armed rows standing up, feet about shoulder width apart. Once again, on if you're sitting and you're doing the one-armed row, it's really the same kind of movement, isn't it? You can adapt to that. For this two-armed row, it's really very easy to do from your chair. So this is one that's definitely adaptable. So feet about shoulder width apart. Bring both hands up. Elbows high. We're standing up straight. Core is engaged. Shoulders back a little bit. We're not trying to keep our shoulders tight in through here. We're not trying to keep that tight. Keep going. A few more of those. Where are you feeling this? Where are you feeling it? Can you tell? Giving you some idea of the muscles that aren't used to the movements you're having them do, isn't it? One more of these here. There we go. How's that feeling for you? How's that feeling for you? I'm sure that's feeling great. So the next one is, it's called a fly. So feet about shoulder width apart, bend at the knees. We're going to do it now. As you remember, let me get this. As we bend, you want this kind of a situation that rumpus is going out, straight line from your head down to your rumpus, okay? That's important. If you see me not doing it right, you let me know. So we're going out like this, right? We're bending like we need to here. And I'm going to stand this way so you can see the motion I'm going to do. If we had weights, imagine we have weights, but it's a fly. So we're going to take them out like that. We're not going fast. We're just going slow. Remember, we have that straight line, head to rumpus, knees flexed. We're breathing. Definitely have your core engaged on this one. So how's that feeling? You feel like, wow, you know, this might do me some good, Jim. You're right. This is some great stuff. Okay, let's do one more of those. You know, when I say one more, I end up doing two, don't I? But that's what I mean. One more after I get done talking. Okay, how's that feeling? Hopefully that's helping you great. You know, I'm going to take me another sip of water, setting a good example for you. Keep that hydration happening. Very important. Can't emphasize it too much. And on the walking, I'm sure I mentioned it, but let me reiterate. If you have that we did 30 minutes of walking to warm up, or however much you could do. If you have a stepping machine, if you have a treadmill, bicycle, whatever you have, you know, it's great. If you're going to do it indoors, that's fantastic. If you're going to do it outdoors, that's fantastic. If you just need to walk around somewhere in your house, you have a circle you can walk, that's fine too. Whatever you have, you make best use of what you have to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. So you're doing that walking. Okay, we've been resting here for a little bit, and that's fine. So now we're going to take our hands up over our heads. Can you see? Let me come down like this so you can see my hands. So you can stay standing up. Hands straight up, and I'm going to bend at the elbows, nowhere else. Take them down and up. Okay? Now, you've probably recognizing some of these movements from other things that we've done, but I'm putting these all together into a routine for us this time. And when we add weights, you can see that this is going to make a difference. This is one of my favorite routines. It's a pretty easy one to remember and get all of the different exercises that go with it. Feeling a little bit of fatigue in those arms? That's why we're doing it without weights, because this would be pretty hard for you to do. And we're really trying to do like 8 to 12 repetitions is what we want to be doing right now. Now we're just doing one set. Over time, we're going to build that up as we get better and better at this. But we're working at habit right now. We're not working at being perfectionists. We want to get this habit going on. So, okay, we're coming back up. We're going to be in that hinged forward position again. We're going to take our arms back like this. And we're going to bend only at our elbows, okay? Only at our elbows. See how that's working? Both hands, we can do this. Only at our elbows. We got that straight line, head to back, all right? Flexed in our knees, core is tight, and we are breathing while we do this. Take it in, blow it out. You know, I wish I could demonstrate breathing at the same time I'm talking. You know I'm breathing while I'm talking. That is the only way that I could keep standing up, right? A couple more of these, and we'll be in good shape with this. Okay, let's come back up to the upright position now. Let me show you the adjustment to do if you're in a chair for that one. Obviously, you're doing the lean forward thing as much as you can, arms back, so it's really kind of the same. You're just sitting down. These arm movements are really easy to do if we're sitting down, right? So not a big problem there. Don't want to miss any. I don't think we did the curls, the upper arm curls. So you can do it both at once. I think there's an advantage to doing one at a time. Typically, if we're doing a movement with our arms, we're only using one at a time. We're not doing the two at once. You know, I have to admit, I don't know the advantage of one way or the other. But I find from a rhythmic standpoint and what makes sense to me as far as our normal activities that we do, this is a little more consistent with how we do our movements when we're trying to accomplish things. So anyway, so for those of you in a chair, I'll try to show.
Hi.
Hi, you came to do this?
I just thought I would just say, and you may have, but when I first started using weights, I used 1 pound
yes,
weights.
You start real small.
1 pound weights. Then I moved to 2 pound. Then I moved to 3 pounds. I'm at 5 pound now, but I didn't move up fast, and I started
actually
really
low. Over 5 pounds. You dropped back when we hadn't been doing anything for a while.
Right.
So,
but I just want you to know, I started with 1 pound.
Well, she didn't want to use any. She started with no pounds, and over time built up and up. So
I thought that was important.
Now she's not muscle bound. It's not going to make you muscle bound. It's going to tone you. It's going to put you where you need to be, to where you have the strength and the muscle density, well, bone density and muscle mass, to where you can be healthy. I mean,
right. And I do push-ups. I do push-ups because I know weight-bearing exercise is really important, especially if you are a white, thin woman, then you're subjective to osteoporosis, and so you want to do weight-bearing exercises. Bye.
That was our commercial announcement for today. Thank you, Rinda. Okay, now we're going to move into the floor positions. We have a few things we're going to do. I'm going to sit sideways. This is a challenging one. Hopefully you can see what's going on. I'm leaning back, have my feet out like this, and I'm going to bring my legs in and then stretch them out. Now, if you can't do very many of these, do what you can. Pause and rest, then come back and do a few more. This is fantastic for that core. Now, that core is tight, obviously, right? It's really working on you. Okay, let's put that down and let that rest. That was probably pretty fantastic, huh? I'm going to have to bend the camera down because I definitely want you to see what I'm going to be doing next here. And I'm going to have to move this chair out of the way. I'm sorry for those of you in the chair. That one you could easily do in the chair. This next one, not so much. This is a challenge. We're going to start with a plank. Now, you can do knees to shoulders. If you're in better shape, you can do all the way down to your feet. We'll start with knees to shoulders. We're going to hold this here for a while. We have our core engaged, definitely, right? You can tell that. Core is engaged. We're working on that core today. This is going to be a lot of core work. Now, we want this to go a lot longer than what I'm doing today. We're going to stop it right there. That's probably plenty. But this next one, we're gonna lay like this for a little while as we say, okay, core, relax. You've had quite a workout. Now, this is kind of a contralateral movement where we're going to pick up our right hand and our left foot, put them down, then pick up our left hand and right foot. Forehead on the mat, if you will. So we're only going to go up a little bit. We don't have to go too high. We're going to hold it just for a short little bit. So up, and then down. Other side, up, and then down. Up, And then we're switching sides back and forth. And we're saying, oh, Jim, this one is not an easy one. You're right. One more on each side. And we will call that good. Woo! Okay. Now this is called the snake. Slightly different movement. I think you can do this even so soon after having done that other. Come up into this position and hold that for a little bit. Okay. We're going to rock all the way up. You know, we may have to cut this a little bit short. We can't do them all. I was thinking we could fit all of these into 30 minutes. We'd have to be pretty intense to do that. So we're not going to do everything I planned on doing. Rest here just a little bit. I want you to regain your stamina and strength. Now, the next thing we're going to do is push-ups. Remember to mention push-ups. Really easy one to do. And we are going to do a few. Now, you have some options. You can do them from your knees, if that's what you can do, or you can do them from your feet. So let's get into position. Let's get to where we're going to be doing the push-ups. We go down, up, down, up. If you can only do part of one, do part of one. Then rest and try to do another part of one. I'm going to try to do 8 here. Okay. Let's rest from that. That was quite a bit, wasn't it? That was a lot for us to undertake. Okay, a little bit of breathing there. So much more that we can do. We have other days. We don't have to do it all today. We've had a good session so far, so we want to do a bit of cool down at this point. Going to have to tip the camera back up, or you're not going to be able to see my head. And then you don't know who's talking, right? I'd be like this. That doesn't make any sense. We want to see my head, see what I'm looking at, looking like. So to cool down today, what we're going to do is a little bit of walking. And it's just kind of some slow walking, okay? And I'm going to do the whole side step shuffle here. Just kind of, we're keeping ourselves moving, but not doing as much as we have been doing. We're just kind of going slow. Notice I'm not moving my arms, but I'm not coming to a dead halt, okay? I'm just doing some walking around, just some slight movement, so that I know my breathing is a bit elevated from what we've been doing. I suspect yours might be. So we're letting that catch back up with us. So we're going to do this for a few minutes. And I'm going to talk about some things that are important. This is a great time to talk. We're exercising. This isn't too strenuous. I can talk and walk. You can go in circles. You can do whatever you need to do. I'm trying to stay in front of the camera, so I'm a little more restricted on where I can go. Just some slow walks, slow movements, and keep me going here. I want you to know I appreciate you tuning in, watching it when you replay it. It's gratifying to me. I'm getting a lot of feedback from folks saying, wow, we really appreciate this. This is helping us. This is encouraging me to exercise. You know, it's so important. It's so valuable. And as you look around, you see many, many people who, I've talked to a lot who tell me about all of the aches and pains and problems that they have. And as I study about what goes into a lot of the issues that we experience during our life, more and more what I'm hearing from scientists, from doctors, from physical therapists, from various individuals, professionals who are dealing with folks who are having problems, is that the vast majority, and when I say vast, I mean it's in the higher 80s into the 90% of the issues that people are experiencing with the aches and pains, the fatigue, even some of the what have become conditions. I'm not going to call them diseases. Maybe they could be a disease, depending on how you define that, I suppose. But they are suggesting that diet, exercise, stress reduction are what's going to cure that. Not just cure it, it's going to regenerate. It's going to bring you back to where you've been previously, when you were younger. And getting old doesn't mean you have to get decrepit. It doesn't mean that. There are so many people who have demonstrated that's the fact. And we don't have to give in to that. We don't have to believe what we've always observed around us. As people got older, they could do less and less until finally they were able to do nothing. They had all kinds of aches and pains. And that's just how it was. You accept it and you live with it. And there's no choice. I understand for some of us, there may not be a choice. And that's unfortunate in those cases. But from what I'm hearing, any of us who are willing to put in the time and effort, start simple, be consistent and persistent, we will be able to regain a lot of that strength and vitality, vigor, capability, agility, mobility, range of motion, all of those things. We can regain what we used to have. We can hold on to what we do have. So it's important that we do this, but from my perspective, is I have found I'm able to do more now than I could 10 and 15 years ago because I've been working at it. And for me, it's proven that it's true. I don't know that it's true for everybody. From my studying, I'm finding out that it's true for everybody. And so a couple more minutes here of this cool down. Give me a little more time to rant and rave and go on. But I really want you to cool down appropriately. My heart rate's dropping. I'm sure yours is starting to. And that's great. That's what this is all about. I want others to make the gains like I have gained, and I believe it can happen. Slightly different subject, separate subject that I want to address. And there's not as much research into this as there needs to be, but I've read a couple of articles on it, and it has to do with fat cells. That all of us are born with a number of fat cells, and it, whether it's genetic, whether it's a result of how our mother was living, what she was eating, what physical shape she was in, whatever it might be. We start life with a certain number of fat cells, and we're all different. Up through our adolescent years, we can add to those fat cells depending on what our lifestyle is, what kinds of foods we're eating, what our activity levels are. And by the time we are getting out of adolescence, the number of fat cells that we have is set. And as we get older, we may increase the size of those fat cells or decrease them, but we're never going to change the quantity. That's what research is saying. What the research doesn't say is exactly what influences the number of fat cells that a person starts life with and any genetic inclinations on how rapidly that quantity might grow depending on the conditions. Not a lot of research on that, but it's pretty much understood that diet and exercise play a role in that. But all that said, those of us who find ourselves very obese, we look back and we might have started with a lot more fat cells. We might have had our lifestyle as we were younger caused us to grow more fat cells, but we have them, and they're not going away. We can decrease the size of them. That's really what we can do. So it's not dire. Through diet and exercise, we can get it under control. Now, once again, there may be conditions to where what Jim is saying is totally wrong, but the research is showing in the vast majority of cases, you can reduce them. And whether the extra weight contributes to a lot of the aches and pains, the arthritic conditions that exist are compounded by having the additional weight. So what we want to do is to eat appropriately, eat the right kinds of foods, don't overindulge, and exercise to where you keep your metabolism functioning the way that it needs to, and you will see changes. You will definitely see changes. And I'm interested for those who have made changes in their life, how that's affected your body composition, and your ability to do things as well as your body proportions. Have those improved? Science is saying that it should. I'm not saying that fat is bad. I'm saying that too much weight on your bones and on your joints can cause pain and discomfort. There's no doubt about that. Do I think it's bad to be, am I down on that? Am I down on obese people? No. Okay, sorry for that pause. Internet, once again, pause. What I'm saying is those of us who have a lot of extra weight, we recognize that, and goodness, we know more than anyone else what effect it has on us in many, many ways. But we are all beautiful people. We all have a lot to offer. We all have wonderful gifts to share with others. What I'm suggesting here is let's work together and let's make ourselves the best we can possibly be. That's what this is all about. So this is Jim with Regenerate, Don't Degenerate. Thanks for watching. Please, if you haven't subscribed, do so. Invite your friends to be a part of this. We're going to get better fit. We're going to feel great. We're going to be healthy. We're going to be happy. And we're going to share this experience with others so that everyone we know can make the gains that we're gaining. Thanks for watching.